What's up, everybody? Antonio Ford here. Another lesson for the piano lesson for the absolute beginner, part three. This is continued. I like continued because I can explain a little bit more in depth what I didn't from the last video, and I can give you more tips to kind of help advance your plan and help take your maybe what you already learned and kind of just add on to it. So I want to get right into it. The last lesson we learned in part three was the C major chord shape, and I'd like to call it the chord shape because it is a chord shape. This is the C major chord shape, okay, and and it's a major chord shape. When you have these three, when you have the one, the three, and the five, that's a C major. That's a major chord shape. Now, the next lesson, I'm gonna be able to teach a little bit more in depth what those chord names are because there's major and there's minor. I kind of talked about that with scales, how like the major is very very bright. It's the same thing, and then the minor is very dark. It's the same thing when it comes to chords. The major chords are very very bright, and the minor chords are very very dark. All right, so we'll get into that in part four. But for now, I'm gonna just kind of give you some exercises to help you master that chord shape. So we went over doing the C major chord shape here, and just moving it up. I'm gonna just kind of move a little fast here, but we went over that, and hopefully you practice. Hopefully you practice that because that's gonna make a big difference in your playing. You'll be able to start playing songs quicker by being able to play chords. All right. So now, what I didn't really teach on the last lesson was about two hands. You can practice it with two hands. Listen, this stuff isn't a requirement. These are only exercises that I would recommend you guys to practice to make your piano fingers stronger. Okay. So same thing with the left hand. You could just do. You'll start with the C on the pinky and just move it up. I'm just going fast for the sake of the lesson. Okay, and bring it back. Okay, you don't have to use both hands right now, but this is what I want you to be comfortable with. I want you to start mastering these moves. All right, now if that doesn't work, let's say you're having a hard time, like, oh, I can't get my pinky to work and I can't get my middle finger to, sometimes that's an adjustment with the piano. There's an exercise that I used to do when I first learned piano. It's an arpeggio exercise. So it's C, E, G, E, C, and then I'll chord at the end. Okay? So all I'm doing is the C on the thumb, the E on the middle finger, and the G with the fifth finger, with my pinky. And I'm bringing it back. And then chord, and then move it up. And chord, move it up. Move it up. Move it up. Until you get all the way to the C. All right, and then do it all the way back in reverse. You don't have to do it that fast, but I'm just kind of expediting it for the sake of time. But yeah, so practice that arpeggio with the chord, because what this does is it builds muscle memories with your fingers, and it makes it easier to play chords. But I recommend, this is what I would try to say, is try to master just doing this finger position. Just master that. Lifting your hand up. You ain't got to go like all the way around the world, but just lift your hand up a little bit and just shift it up. Keep practicing that and master it. It'll get easier, I promise. Now listen, I want to say this before we go to our next lesson. These are techniques. These are things that helps you build your piano, I would say your piano skills or your piano like muscle memory for your fingers. These exercises help with that. But these aren't a requirement for you to play the piano. I'm so excited about the future lessons to come here because after the next or the lesson after, I'm gonna be able to start teaching you a song, And man, I hope you guys really enjoy that because I want you to start playing some songs. It will build your confidence as a piano player. Tune in.